Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel GMB SHOW. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. ITV The Chase host Bradley Walsh was left in disbelief during Tuesday's episode as player Tom admitted he applied for the wrong show and has never seen an episode. The Chase's Bradley Walsh was left gobsmacked and could only muster a brief, disheartened reaction as he declared, "I've lost all hope," following a contestant's cringeworthy confession early in the episode. On Tuesday's December 17 installment of the popular ITV quiz show, host Bradley was once again gracing our television screens with another thrilling episode. Bradley welcomed a quartet of hopefuls, Tom from Twickenham, Richard from Sheffield, Sam from High Wycombe, and Gabriella from London, who were eager to showcase their intellect against the chaser for a chance at the jackpot. But mere moments into the episode, Bradley was taken aback when Tom casually mentioned that not only did he sign up for the wrong program, but also had never actually seen an entire episode of The Chase. As Tom stood ready to face whichever chaser emerged, Brad inquired about his preferred adversary. Tom, recently transitioned from military to civilian life and pursuing an acting career, responded nonchalantly, "I think I'll be happy with anyone, apart from Anne," reports the Liverpool Echo. Skeptical, Bradley probed further. "You know how this show works, right?" Tom's expression gave him away, prompting Bradley to press on. "You've never seen this show, have you?" Tom's admission practically knocked the wind out of everyone when he revealed that despite watching some YouTube clips, he hadn't really sat through a complete broadcast, confessing to a stunned Bradley Walsh, "I've never seen the show, Bradley Walsh." Brad was struck dumb as he quizzed, "So what made you want to come on?" Tom revealed he actually believed he had applied for a totally different program, admitting, "I thought I was applying for another show with a similar name instead. But I'm very happy to be here," he continued. Brad pressed on which show it was, leading Tom to spill the beans: Hunted. Bradley was taken aback by Tom's mix-up, crossing his arms and commenting in disbelief, "The Chase? Hunted? Wow! I don't hold out much hope for you, Tom." As Tom stepped up to face off against Mark the Beast Labette, Bradley couldn't resist a jibe, remarking, "He has no idea who you are." Despite the confusion, Tom managed to bag himself a spot in the final chase, opting for a medal offer of $6,000. Fans at home were quick to flock to X, once known as Twitter, to voice their amusement. One person tweeted, "He thought this would be hunted? Hashtag The Chase." Another chimed in, "Never seen The Chase? Play the game, son. Hashtag The Chase." And another viewer teased, "You applied for the wrong show. You wanted to be on Hunted? Hashtag The Chase." Bradley Walsh was in the middle of his usual backstage pacing ritual, coffee in hand, flipping through cue cards as warm studio lights buzzed overhead. The Chase set was alive with its typical hum of nervous energy, audience members whispering, the production team double-checking cameras, and a chaser waiting silently in the wings. But today, something felt off. "All right, who's up next?" Bradley asked, glancing over to the contestant entrance. That's when he saw Martin, a lanky 27-year-old wearing a navy cardigan, glasses slipping down his nose, and clutching his water bottle as if it were a lifeline. He smiled awkwardly at Bradley, who nodded back, his professional grin ready. "Let's give him a good welcome," Bradley called, and the audience clapped as Martin made his way to the podium, his trainers squeaking embarrassingly against the floor. They began the chat, the easy warm-up that Bradley had mastered over his years on The Chase. "So, Martin, what do you do?" "I'm, in between jobs, actually. Well, I was working as a delivery driver, but I accidentally delivered a parcel to the wrong house, and the customer was, quite angry." Bradley blinked, stifling a laugh. "Ah, well, we all make mistakes, mate." Martin swallowed, then added in a small voice, "I also once locked myself out of the delivery van while it was still running." The audience tittered. Bradley's grin broadened. "That's a new one for me, Martin." But nothing could have prepared Bradley for what Martin would admit next. They moved on to the cash builder. Martin stood there fidgeting as Bradley rattled off the questions. What's the capital of Portugal? Lisbon. Correct. What's the chemical symbol for gold? AG. Correct. Who played James Bond in Casino Royale? Martin paused, his mouth opening, closing, his eyes scanning the lights above him. Come on, mate, Bradley encouraged. Martin cleared his throat. I don't really watch films. Bradley's eyebrows shot up. Okay, quick guess. Martin took a breath. Mr. Bean? The studio went dead silent. A single laugh burst out from the audience before getting swallowed in the hush. Did you just say Mr. Bean? Bradley repeated, blinking slowly, his voice caught between disbelief and laughter. Martin nodded, cheeks flushing red. Yeah, that's the only British actor I could think of under pressure. Bradley's face turned red as he tried to suppress his laughter, a vein popping at the corner of his temple. His shoulder shook, and then he threw his arms up dramatically, stepping back from the podium. I've lost all hope, Bradley exclaimed, staggering in a circle, looking up to the ceiling lights as if asking the quiz gods for mercy. The audience erupted with laughter, some people wiping tears from their eyes. The camera panned to Anne backstage, who had her hand over her mouth, shaking with silent laughter. Bradley turned back to Martin, wiping his eyes. You thought Mr. Bean played James Bond in Casino Royale? Martin stammered, I mean, Rowan Atkinson is quite suave in a way. Bradley leaned against the podium, gasping, Man, that's the funniest thing I've heard in 10 years of hosting this show. Martin giggled nervously, scratching the back of his head. Sorry, Bradley. No, don't you dare apologize. That's made my day, Bradley said, managing a grin, though tears were still clinging to his lashes. The round ended, Martin had scored $4,000, despite the Mr. Bean slip-up. It was time for the chaser to enter. Anne Haggerty walked out, composing herself, though she gave Martin a smirk. Mr. Bean as James Bond? I almost feel bad for what I'm about to do to you, she teased. Martin chuckled. I deserve it. Bradley cleared his throat, adopting a mock-serious tone. Martin, the good news is you've given us the biggest laugh this season. The bad news is I have indeed lost all hope, but let's get you back to your seat with some money. The head-to-head began. Martin surprised everyone. Despite his shaky start and odd confession, he was quick on the buzzer, pushing ahead of Anne on several questions. What color is at the top of a rainbow? Red, Martin answered confidently. Correct. Which British author created the character Hercule Poirot? Martin snapped his fingers. Agatha Christie. Correct. Anne narrowed her eyes, amused but focused. Martin was on fire. The audience held their breath as the final question loomed. What is the largest planet in our solar system? Martin's eyes widened. He paused, that same panic as before creeping in. Bradley whispered, Don't say Mr. Bean. The studio roared with laughter, and even Anne cracked a smile. Martin grinned, then shouted, Jupiter. Correct. The lights flashed green. Martin had made it. Bradley threw his arms around Martin in a brief celebratory hug. You've redeemed yourself, mate. I'm proud of you. Anne shook Martin's hand with a warm smile. See, even if you thought Mr. Bean was Bond, you've shown you know your planets. Martin beamed, cheeks still red but proud, as he returned to the team who clapped him on the back. Bradley, still chuckling, turned to the camera as the music swells. Well, there you have it. Just when I thought I'd lost all hope, Martin here proves that even if you mix up your bonds, you can still outrun the governess. The audience cheered, and Martin gave a shy wave, finally allowing himself a smile under the hot studio lights. Later that evening, social media was ablaze with clips of Bradley's I've lost all hope moment. Memes flooded in with Mr. Bean in a tuxedo shaking a martini. One viewer tweeted, Best episode ever! Martin, we love you! Hashtag the chase! Hashtag Mr. Bean Bond! Another added, Bradley Walsh's reaction is me in life! Exclamation point! Hashtag I've lost all hope! And another viewer teased, "You applied for the wrong show. You wanted to be on Hunted? Hashtag the chase." Bradley Walsh was in the middle of his usual backstage pacing ritual, coffee in hand, flipping through cue cards as warm studio lights buzzed overhead. The chase set was alive with its typical hum of nervous energy, audience members whispering, the production team double-checking cameras, and a chaser waiting silently in the wings. But today, something felt off. "All right, who's up next?" Bradley asked, glancing over to the contestant entrance. That's when he saw Martin, a lanky 27-year-old wearing a navy cardigan, glasses slipping down his nose, and clutching his water bottle as if it were a lifeline. He smiled awkwardly at Bradley, who nodded back, his professional grin ready. "Let's give him a good welcome," Bradley called, and the